what perhaps is the problem? We've heard from Governor Sule. You can take his word to the bank because as a leader and a governor in the APC, their plans are obvious. And you've heard it. But let's hear from the PDP. The ones on the receiving end. It does look like their party has lost some steam, and perhaps they've lost the brake to their vehicle, and the vehicle is going down on a slope. Where will it end? I'm being joined by Kola Ologbondiyan. He's the spokesperson of the PDP. Thank you so much, Mr. Ologbondiyan, for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Your party seems to be on the slope, and I was trying to make a description. You know, when you have a vehicle that has lost its brake and is going down on the slope, it's headed for a disaster, isn't it? Is that on the path where your party is right now?
Let me start by welcoming you to the nation's capital, Abuja.
Yeah.
And having welcomed you, let me give you an assurance that the People's Democratic Party is very stable. They don't have our experience in politics.
You said this to me several times, Mr. Ologbondiyan.
They don't have...
No, you've told me. You know the reason why. You've told me that your party is stable.
We are very stable.
When you lost the first governor this year, you lost the second one, you told me the same thing. Now you're telling me that your party is still stable.
Our party is very stable. As we speak, we have all our structures established in the 36 states and the 774 local government, as well as over 2,000 wards that we have in Nigeria. Our party is very stable. Now, moving from there, Nigerians know that the power...
Sorry, apologies, so that we can clear it. So what do you mean by stability? If someone has malaria and is healed of malaria, is stable. Someone can be on life support and perhaps gasping for breath. Maybe it has been stabilized, but it's still on life support. That might be stability. Is that the kind of stability your party is?
Unfortunately for the People's Democratic Party, we do not suffer any of these ailments in the political firmament.
You are not in the life support.
At all. We do not suffer any form of...
I know that. I know, Mr. Ologbondiyan. Yes. You know you're a colleague before you move to the other side.
Oh, so sure.
And truth telling is part of what you are trained for.
And that's what I do.
And I know it might be difficult on the other side.
No, it's not
truth telling is usually very difficult on the other side. But because
I speak the truth.
Because you are my brother.
Always.
When we are a journalist.
Even in the political firmament.
So let's identify what the problem. I know you are uneasy right now.
No, I'm not.
You're uneasy
My
because
party is very stable.
How can you be on?
Our structure are very stable across the 36 states of the federation.
You've lost Zamfara.
774
You've lost Cross River.
You are listening.
You've lost Mboyi. Do you agree with me that governors make a very strong structure of a political party?
You are listing governors. We have lost Zamfara. We have lost Ebonyi. Cross River has decamped. What of the people who made the governor? Did they decamp?
What about the National Assembly? You lost all the lawmakers. You lost all the lawmakers in the Senate.
Process. Let me make the point.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sheung, you say we lost governors. Did we lose the people that voted them into office? Then there's one thing that we must take into consideration, and it's very germane in this discussion. The fact that President Muhammadu Buhari and the leaders of the All Progressives Congress are going around intimidating the governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. And it's very convenient. What they do is send in security agents to go and conduct investigation. And as soon as they send them in, you begin to read on the social media and on the pages of newspapers, oh, Zamfara governor is leaving. Oh, Ebonyi State governor is leaving. Oh, Cross River. We understand the mind game that they are playing. We understand what they are doing. But we are confident in the people of Nigeria who have been made to suffer untold hardships going to 6 years and who are very determined that for once they want to choose a leader of their own. And we believe, who also hold to the fact that APC as a party is not structured, who also know that APC as a party is a mere vehicle that was used to hijack power. And as such, they are done with the APC. All that the silent Nigerians who have been pushed to the realm of despondency by the APC and President Muhammadu Buhari are waiting for is 2023. Sheung, in Bauchi, it was APC governor. PDP got elected there. In Adamawa, it was APC governor with all the power of incumbency, with all the military power, with all the intimidation that they did,
All right.
PDP was re-elected.
Let's take a breather.
In Rivers.
Just a moment. We need to take a breather because we're due for a commercial break. We take a break. But when we come back, Mr. Ologbondiyan is trying to identify to us that his party is hale and hearty. So we'll be having the conversation about how healthy the PDP is in the face of this gale of defections. The 2023 politics is already here. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk more about this. Everyone for staying with us right here on Politics Hero Channels Television. Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan is the spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party, and he's been talking to us about the state of affairs of his party in the face of the gale of defections that we've seen. In the last 5 or 6 months, the PDP has suffered huge defection from its party, and the only party that has been on the receiving end is the APC that has had now their boy governor, the Cross River governor, the Anambra state governor, plus lawmakers in the National Assembly. Thank you so much, Mr. Ologbondiyan. Let's get back to the conversation. You were saying that your party is healthy, everything is fine, but look at what is happening in the National Assembly, which you covered for several years. Number is the name of the game. If you don't have the number, you don't have the you don't have a say.
Yeah.
You know, because when you vote, then you need a number to back your vote. So you've lost 3 senators at least today, or 4. Yeah, today 4 senators today. You're losing that. You don't have as much senators, anyways. How many governors do you have left in the PDP right now?
Right now, we have 13 governors left.
And you started with about 18.
We started with about
2019.
We started with about we started in 2019 with I think 15 or 16. Then we moved to 17. But the point that I was making is that you are counting governors. We are saying in the People's Democratic Party, where our motto is power to the people, we are saying that the power resides in the people. And that the fact that the governor has left the party does not translate to victory. And I said that even in the 2019 election, whether you take the experience in Rivers State, or you take the experience in Akwa Ibom State, or you take the experience in Bauchi State, these elections were militarized, using all the powers of incumbency. But the people were determined.
But you won some of these elections.
That's where I'm going. That's why I'm saying that leave the issue of governor. We won these elections, particularly in Bauchi, in Adamawa, because the people were determined. And I'm saying emphatically that given the suffering that Nigerians have passed through, going to 6 years of President Muhammadu Buhari, an administration that cannot point to one project that it initiated, not inherited, it initiated and completed.
What about the Lagos
Ibadan rail line was started by PDP now. Name
how?
one. Name the project.
Because I know what I know is that
it started with Obasanjo's administration. Was Obasanjo's administration not PDP?
But
who drew the plan? Who borrowed the money?
No, let's be factual, Mr. Ologbondiyan.
Yes.
Lagos Ibadan railway was started and completed by this government.
No, Sheon, go and check. Go and check the records.
No, I've reported it. That's what I'm giving.
It was initiated.
Maybe you have some other facts that I don't have.
It was initiated by the Obasanjo administration. You might say
initiation and commencing a project. Just like I'm not debating this with you. I'm just putting the fact. I'm not speaking for the APC, but I'm just saying that we need to put out the facts there. For example, the Abuja Kaduna rail. We know that the Jonathan administration did a huge part of
almost
the job.
90%
and this
of
government
almost
90%
of the
they
job.
Finished the job.
Almost 90% of the job.
So the Lagos Ibadan rail,
it was initiated by President
but it was started by Buhari government.
I said at least PDP had a mark in it. You cannot say that PDP didn't have a mark in it. That's the point I'm making.
So when you're saying that you should
what I'm saying,
project, I'm trying to
no, that's what I said. Look at the word initiated, a project which means that it went through your thought process. You sat down on your own, it went through your thought process, you defined it, and brought it out. That's initiation. And I'm saying that let them point to one project that they initiated, began and completed under this administration. It's a challenge that we have thrown out over and over and over, where we have not got a response anyway, be that as it may. So what I was saying was that, look, in spite of all that they are doing today, where I'm driving to, in spite of all that they are doing today, at the end of it, the people who have suffered in the last 6 years will decide And I'm sure, I'm very confident, that no Nigerian worth that name that will vote against PDP in 2019. In
so
2023.
let's clarify this, because sometimes when you're in the house, you might not hear the sound of the rain or the storm. And you might not know this, but because I'm a political journalist, I know. But are you aware that there is a storm in your party to remove the Uche Secondus as chairman?
Well, you call it a storm. I call it a distraction by some people who say that, oh, well, Secondus has to go, who went to EFCC to lie against the National Working Committee, who have brought up all manner of things in the public domain. I cannot claim not to be aware of that. But to say that there is a storm in the party, Sheung, are you aware that none of the governors that left the party, none, out of the 3 that left the party, accused the party of any form of misdemeanor?
Okay, so
are you aware?
Yeah, let me put this question right. Let me put this question right.
No, let me just round this up. Even the parliamentarians that you are talking about in the National Assembly, the 3 senators that left with Matawali in Zamfara State, what they did was a sympathetic defection because they know the circumstances that forced Matawali out of office, and they feel that they cannot leave him to go alone. And I'm very concerned, particularly for Senator Yao, who had been a PDP person all through and through. But the other 2 senators were people, and maybe with Senator Yao, are people who are just expressing sympathetic loyalty to the governor.
I'm not sure if you...
And in Delta State, where Senator Peter Nwobosi just left the party. You know why he left?
I don't know.
Are you not aware of the harassment over EFCC cases? Are you not aware? So what we are saying is that what the APC is doing is that they are building something on nothing, and it will not stand. How will it stand?
But I'm aware that Senator Nwobosi won the case at the court. So, but the question I want to ask
do you know the undercurrents?
No, because you can't talk about the undercurrents.
Do you know the undercurrents?
You can only talk about the facts.
I can speak about the undercurrents because I'm in the political firmament.
Yeah,
you are not there.
We can. No, I am.
You are a political reporter.
I am a political reporter, but I understand the workings of what is happening.
You don't participate in
your night meetings. So. but let me ask you this, seriously speaking. I know you probably will not speak in this manner if your party is the one receiving members from the APC. But I'm not talking about Kasim Afegbua's case, which we're referring to, who went to the EFCC and laid a petition against the leadership of your party. I'm talking about leaders of your party that I've spoken with, that are talking about, and when I say this, you can take my word to the bank, they are talking about consideration of the fact that Secondus and the leadership of the party may be the problem of your PDP.
Well, I don't know.
Are you aware?
I'm not aware.
But I'm telling you.
You are telling me now, but
I'm giving you an information.
You are not a member of my party.
But I know, you are aware that when you were covering the National Assembly, you are privy to information.
You are not a member of my party.
But I'm giving you
information.
I'm
saying that what you are
about
saying,
what is happening in your party.
What you are saying now does not comply with the situation that I see in my party, which is the People's Democratic Party. So, and I said, you said governors are leaving our party. And I just asked a simple question. Out of the 3 governors that left, did any, just one, complain about the party? No.
No, they did.
Who complained?
Ebonyi governor complained about the party. Says that he was not sure about what...
Listen. Ebonyi governor did not complain about the activities of the party. Ebonyi governor was projecting into the future, and he said, he made a declaration that there is injustice. And the party said, where is the injustice? Was it when you were a party chairman that there was injustice? Was it when you were a deputy governor that was injustice? Was it when you finished your first term that was... So as far as the party is concerned, not one governor. And you are also aware that after Ayade left, Ayade said he holds the PDP in high respect. He said that. Even the man who said that he has been longing to go to APC, even though we know why he's leaving, and we know that it has nothing to do with longing to go to APC. After all, there are video recordings in circulation where he placed a curse upon himself if he ever betrayed the PDP and the people. So if he was longing to go to APC, will he place a curse on himself? So we need to understand the methodology and the psychology of these defections. And that's why we are telling you in the People's Democratic Party that we are unfazed.
Yeah, because
we know it for sure that APC is merely building something on nothing. We shall see.
All right. If I can compare political party to a battalion or a team of soldiers whose aim is to win a war. Because when you go to election, you're planning, you are in battle with other political parties to win. And you're going with a general and of different platoon or different battalion or different formation, you're going with a general. Is it a disaster when you lose general at war? Yes or no?
Do you know, Seun? Well, there are some expectations that I have of you in this discussion. We are saying that, oh, we are going into a war and we are losing generals. With due respect and condolences to the family of the late Chief of Army Staff. When he died, what happened?
He was replaced.
Thank you very much, Seun.
So the question is that...
So it is
but
not...
he had a plan study, but it's a big loss to the military.
Seun, it is not absolute that because a particular person has left the People's Democratic Party, that there will be no replacement. Did the governor work alone to put himself in power?
What about the values of your party? Is that being eroded?
Did the governor work alone to put himself in power? The answer is no. He worked with human beings who are not machines, who are feeling the pains and the anguish of this reckless administration.
You have you have accused the APC of intimidating and harassing your members, but you said this not once, not twice, but you've not given evidence. You said they are harassing your governors. Can you give evidence of how they did that?
I just told you how security agents whose responsibility is to investigate corruption are thrown into states, and as they are doing the investigation, the governors are told that, oh, if you don't want to go to jail after the end of your tenure, you better move.
And you are privy to this?
These are the
allegedly, or you are privy to this? You have evidence? No, because you're on national television.
These are intelligence that we have a right to our own intelligence in my party. Don't we have? Don't we have a right to our own intelligence? This is the intelligence that we are gathering in our own party. Don't forget that this is politics. So we have a responsibility to look on the other side. What is happening there? So we know what they are doing. And people are complaining to us. Those involved, those being harassed, they are telling the leaders of their party, this is what we are suffering. And that's why they go out every day and say, oh, this governor is going to go. APC will even put a date to when the particular governor will leave.
So what did you do to those who joined your party? Did you intimidate them too?
Like who?
Donald Duke is back in PDP.
Yes.
Did you intimidate him?
We didn't need to. Donald Duke left from PDP.
Yes.
Wait now, Seun. He understands the nuances of the political party. He knows that the only democratic institution called a political party in Nigeria is the People's Democratic Party. And when he went, I was there in Calabar. When he came up and said, I'm back, oh, those were his words. I am back to my home, I'm back, oh. No, because he had sampled the other political party. He has seen it that the only democratic party in Nigeria who is structured and well established is the People's Democratic Party. Give me another name, then I will tell you.
The reason why I'm asking, because if you say that the basis for joining political party is because of intimidation, there is one man who left from Abga in Zamfara, Abdullahi Shinkafi. He's not from your party, he left too. Would you say that he was also intimidated to have joined Zamfara APC?
Is he a sitting governor?
No, he was a former national secretary of a political party, a national party.
You started this discussion by using governors as a predicate.
Yeah,
and I told you that they are being coerced into resigning from their political party and going into the ruling APC. You understand? And you said that, did we coerce those who come to our party? And I just want to answer you that we do not have the powers of coercion. We are not a ruling government.
Okay.
No security group is answerable to the People's Democratic Party. So anybody coming to join us, and I'm telling you, Seun, that the game is just starting. Many, including their governors and parliamentarians, they are coming back. Write it down, note it, Seun. It's still a long time. Is it not politics?
Have you heard or seen also, because I made reference to the fact that a governor of your party is leaving for the APC the last time we had the conversation. Yes. Are you also aware that there are plans for another governor of your party to move to the APC?
I have told you, Seun, whether there are plans to move governors or not. Can they move the people and their minds?
Okay.
That's the question. So that's why I told you from the beginning that both President Muhammadu Buhari and the leaders of the All Progressives Congress are building something on nothing. And like lawyers say, what will come out of it? Nothing. Empty.
All right. You're planning a lawsuit. Have you gone to court?
Our legal team is meeting currently, and they are working on when to go to court.
On what basis are you going to court?
Thank you very much. Yeah. On the basis that Matawale was not elected as governor, and that his own election is distinct from other people who are at the camp, because the judgment in the Faleke versus INEC, I'm not a lawyer, but I can read and write. The judgment in Faleke versus INEC is that it is the party who owns the votes, and that the candidate is merely an agent. And don't forget, we are talking about an election in Zamfara State, where the Supreme Court did say that APC was not in that election. So if APC was not in that election, what is wrong? If we subject that judgment to a legal test, whether it is proper for a party who did not participate in an election to now go behind Nicodemusly to go and hijack a governor that was elected on the platform of the party as declared by the judiciary. So I also want to leave this with you and leave it with Nigerians, that all these amendments that we are craving, it does not necessarily mean that it is until the National Assembly or parliamentarian sits in their chambers to amend the Constitution. The judgment of the courts, there are also amendments. So, and there's nothing wrong if something happened to test it in the court. If the court says, no, you are wrong, we say, my lordship, we are grateful, thank you, we'll go back home. But what if we don't test? And at the end of the day, we discover that, if we had tested, it would have been appropriate. So for us in the People's Democratic Party, like I said, we are the only democratic party in this country, and we endeavor always to ensure that our character and what the things that we do conform with the tenets of democracy. And going to court to challenge the defection of Matawale is part of this culture.
So the plan of the PDP is to unseat Governor Matawale. Is that it?
Our plan in the People's Democratic Party is very simple. That the Supreme Court declared that APC was not in the Zamfara election in 2019. And that the party that has the highest number following should take office. And I am saying that even for the purpose of this discussion, if you go back to Faleke versus INEC, that it was clearly stated there that a candidate in an election is an agent of a political party, and that the political party earns the vote. So as far as we are concerned, even if there are situations in the Matawale that contradicts this disposition, we are going to the Supreme Court on account of the judgment of, relying on the judgment of Faleke versus INEC. Because the electoral process in our country here does not allow for independent candidates.
All right.
It is clear.
So we will come back, because I know you know the workings of the National Assembly and some of the issues that came up and the basis in which a lawmaker can lose his seat. Well, it's a bit different for the executive, whether or not a governor can lose his seat for the basis of defection. But we need to take a break.
Because it has not been tested.
Let's take a break. And when we come back, more on this defection, how uneasy the PDP may be about this, and the way forward for the nation ahead of 2023 presidential election. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Then with us, Kola Ologbondiyan, the spokesperson of the PDP, has been talking to us on the program tonight. We've had the governor of Nasarawa State, who's basically declared to us that the plan of the APC is also to aim at the good eggs in the PDP and get them to the other side. And he told us that the APC is on strong footing ahead of 2023 presidential election. But where does the PDP stand in all of this, considering the gale of defections that we are seeing? Thank you so much, Mr. Ologbondiyan. But the issue I was going to raise with you is the legal premise on which you're going to court. You're going to court to probably unseat the governor of Zamfara State. I'm wondering where that is captured in the law. I mean, you've stated it. We've seen the Omeha Amechi case. We've seen the Falike case. With so many cases. And the premise in which some of the lawmakers in the National Assembly specifically are saying is that there is a crisis in your party, and perhaps they have reasons for saying that.
There's no crisis in the People's Democratic Party. I can say, and even the lawmakers that you're talking about, they went to their respective states that, oh, there's crisis in Zamfara. That is not what the Constitution took into consideration in that part of the Constitution. What it said is that, what's important is that is the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party divided in a manner that offices are being opened down the line from the national to the state to the ward. This is not there. So what they are just doing, like I said, they are doing a sympathetic defection. But I want to assure them that the People's Democratic Party will do everything necessary within the confines of the law to ensure that we take back our mandate, to take back our seats.
On a final note, if we leave all of this defection and focus on Anambra State, because that's an election that will happen in November this year, your party is already having some problems. And I will summarize it because it's a long story, and I'd like you to quickly just react to it because we need to close shortly. The problem is INEC will recognize the seconders' leadership because under the law, the NWC is the one permitted exclusively to conduct a governorship primary. But there are two subsisting court judgments over the situation in Anambra State. The Chris Uba faction may be having a tenable premise in conducting or doing what they did. How do you hope to sail through this storm, this legal storm, in the face of the subsisting judgment of court?
Like I said in the beginning, I am not a lawyer. But you have said it, and your statement was very declarative, that it is the secondus leadership of the National Working Committee that can nominate a candidate into election in a gubernatorial situation. What did we do as a party? We had two judgments conflicting against each other. One said, it is this ESCO. Another one said, it is that ESCO. The party in its wisdom accepted the judgment, looked into its constitution, the PDP constitution, looked through it and said, in the circumstances in which we have found ourselves, what can we do? Don't forget, Sheon, already the delegates, whether as ad hoc or whether as a executive from ward to the state, were already banned by the court. The only stage that was available to the party was the super delegates, the automatic delegates. And to explain what a super delegate or automatic...
Is that captured in your constitution?
Is in the constitution. It's there, you say. It's in the constitution. What I can explain it is this, for the benefits of Nigerians. These are people who are either in offices, elected, or had served in those offices in time past. So, and they are also qualified as delegates. So since the other group of delegates have been encumbered by the court, and we have accepted the judgment of the court and say, okay, court has stopped us. Okay, fine. We have agreed, we have stopped. But we have powers also within this constitution to dissolve an ESCO on behalf of the National Executive Committee, who will later ratify it. And the meeting of the NEC holds once in a quarter. So everything that we did was in line with the provisions of this constitution.
All right, so Valentine...
Valentine Ozigbo is the candidate of the party.
But the Chris Uba also...
you cannot force me to speak onto what I don't know about.
Okay.
What I know and which the party also recognizes is the fact that we had a primary election supervised by the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Schreiber.
Was INEC there?
INEC was there. All the agencies of government were there.
We need to go now. Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan, the spokesperson of the PDP, thank you so much for talking to us tonight.
Thank you very much, and I hope you come regularly to Abuja.
If assignments demands. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
But that's our show for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm Chinua Kimale. Bye-bye.